Hey bright ones, it's Savi from lovingawareness.org and Illuminate Your Circle. And it's Monday, and usually I would be here with you delivering an Illuminate Your Energy reset. And today what's feeling inspired is to do an Illuminate Your Energy check-in. I think and feel that it's time for me to check in with you. I want to hear from you. I want to know how you're being. I want to know what you're feeling. How are things flowing for you? Usually the messages just flow through and I know that they meet us exactly where and how we need them to. And that's a beautiful thing, and some of that may show up as I'm talking with you for these few minutes here today. But the inspiration really is for me to hear from you. So I'm hoping that you'll listen to this bright little message today. You'll listen to this Illuminate Your Energy check-in, and you'll sit down and take just a moment and tune in and ask yourself, am I completely awake and aware right now? Am I synced with presence within me? And listen for that answer. And then just do a little inventory. Do a check-in, a loving check-in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I being? How am I feeling? What am I feeling right now? What have I been feeling lately? Have I been aware of my feelings? Have I been listening to my feelings? Have I been honoring my feelings? What's been happening across the landscape of my thoughts? What do I notice that I keep going back to? What is the loop that keeps playing in the background while I'm being and doing, exploring, living, experiencing? Is there a concern that I have? Is there more than one? Do I feel really tapped in and connected? And if I don't feel really tapped in and connected, what might help me feel more tapped in and connected? What do I wish I understood better? What do I know about myself now that I don't think I was clear on before this very moment as I'm checking in with myself? How am I aware that I'm shifting, growing, changing, evolving, expanding, transforming? All of us are changing, growing, shifting, expanding, and transforming every moment, every single day. Big, big, big ways and teeny, tiny ways, but nothing stays the same. The only constant in this experience is change. So again, we ask ourselves, how conscious am I of how I'm changing, how I'm shifting, how I'm transforming? How conscious am I of how I'm being? Last week's message when I sat down with you all was about that question. That was the question that came through last week. How am I being? Not how am I, not how am I doing, but how am I being? And I'm finding that the only way for us to really know how we're being is to ask ourselves questions, to really allow ourselves that deep time of inquiry. And maybe that is the reset. That's what's coming through right now. It's kind of funny. I sat down and said, this is an Illuminator energy check-in rather than a reset. But maybe the point is that the check-in is the reset. I love that. The check-in is the reset. So when I opened the space for us to talk together just now, I truly thought that the feeling that I had, the inspiration, the intuition that was rising up was to ask you for a check-in that I wanted you to deliver to me. And honestly, I still want that. I would love to hear from you. I want to hear from you. So often when I do these videos, I wish you were all sitting with me right here in a circle, so that we could really dive deep together and explore together and grow together and change together, shift together, amplify and elevate each other's shifts and changes together. That is what happens in session work with me. It's why I love it so much when I can be one-on-one with another person who is evolving and transforming on their path, and we can dive deep together and explore together. There's nothing more beautiful than that. And so I think that inspiration was what was bubbling up as I sat down just now, was to say, let's do this check-in. Let's do this check-in together. Let's do this. So I'm still posing that. I'm posing that to you. Ask yourself the questions that just rose up and respond to yourself. Yes, but send the responses to me in the comments, privately, however you wish, but let's start a dialogue. I am so curious how more of you are navigating during these times and what the common denominators are. I know in the session work that I do, it doesn't matter how many people I talk with in a week, everyone has their own unique experience, their own way of coming to everything. And no matter how many unique experiences there are and how many conversations I'm engaged in throughout weeks, week by week, there's always a common denominator. And I want to hear from more of you to know if that continues to track. I want to know what's up for all of you in the collective field with your unique backgrounds and your unique experience, your uniqueness plugged into this experiment of being human during these precious transformation times. I want to know how you're being. I want to know if you've tapped into your common denominator. What are the themes? What are the deep themes that continue to rise up that really make you question who you are and who you are being in this experience? I want to hear from you. And beyond that request of mine, more than anything, beyond that, I really want you to take this deep dive for yourselves. So that's it. That's the theme this week. Illuminate your energy check-in. The check-in is the reset for this week. Every single week that we've sat down together, there has been a theme for us to do a deep dive with. And this week, it's full-on exploration, asking ourselves all the questions and recognizing, are we tapped in? Are we tuned in? Are we paying attention? Are we honoring what it is that we're experiencing? Or are we just floating obliviously? Or maybe running in the hamster wheel, not knowing how to shift and change the momentum? This is not the time to be just floating along obliviously. Floating along is a good thing, but obliviousness doesn't really serve us. We're here for more than that. And grinding in the hamster wheel, I guess that serves something too, but I think we're here. I know we're here for more than that. And I want us to explore. I want each of you to explore for your own good, for your own upliftment, your own clarity, your own expansion. And I guess kind of selfishly, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. So please, Sit down with yourselves this week. Listen deeply. Check in. That is the reset. Give yourselves check-in. I love you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you again soon.